All right, here's a list of the topics we're going to go ahead and cover today. This meeting is mostly to tell everyone who we are, where we are at, and what direction we're going. So we'll be taking a couple of questions at the end as well. So if you want to communicate with us, just go ahead and send us a direct message on our Twitter account. And the Twitter account is AnthroNW. So Anthro Northwest is a gift to the anthropomorphic community. We're founded to give back to a community that has given us so much. The gift of Anthro Northwest is expressed through art, education, and building community. These are lofty, kind of high-level targets, but the way we actually do that primarily is through our convention, which hosts panels, workshops, social activities, a vendor's room, a charity art event, and 24/7 art jams. The convention is really all about all of you, the artists, performers, fans, vendors, and volunteers. As a convention, our goal is to develop and bring out the best parts of the anthropomorphic community. The attributes we're most focused on are creativity, charity, beauty, and hospitality. It's pretty easy to do because the community is already overflowing with people who possess those attributes in abundance. Anthro Northwest was founded in the afternoon on Saturday, May 14th, 2016 at BLFC. Later, we filmed a dream video and then held a meeting on July 10th in a Cedar Grove to see what kind of convention people would want to have. There really wasn't much interest at that point, but even so, on August 9th of 2016, we kind of took a leap of faith, signed a hotel contract, and got to work. A lot has changed since then. The community has shown incredible support for the convention, and everything indicates that Anthro Northwest will be a very meaningful gift to the community. Early on in the June meeting, we defined kind of the sandbox that we were able to play in and work in, kind of the rules for the convention. And pretty much the only limits were that it needed to be a well-behaved, fully PG-rated convention. Everything else was pretty much open. So we planned to build a convention around the people who volunteered. You know, a lot of people, they have an idea of what they want and they fit people into it. We kind of took the opposite approach, and the people that came to us, we changed the convention to be about them. So we put some panels in, some events to seed things. And as each new person came, we tried to create a role for them that allowed them to express and share their inner creativity and their interests with other people. The group of volunteers is very diverse. They tend to be heavily interested in art, whether it's performance, graphical, sewn, sculpted, written, or spoken. It's all over the map. So if we were to classify ourselves, we're an art-focused maker convention. We have workshops on all aspects of anthropomorphic suit creation and tons of art classes being taught by some very talented people. We all like to have fun and build community too, so there's the social activity track, the crown jewel of which is our opening celebration at GameWorks on Thursday night. So today we're about half the way of where we need to be as far as staffing and vendors go. This is really exceptional considering that we have so much time until the convention, and like a lot of conventions haven't even opened it up to vendors or even volunteers this far in advance. So we're about halfway there, a little more than halfway. We tend to be really choosy about who we let volunteer or be a vendor. We definitely don't say yes to everyone. Volunteering and vending is really an opportunity for service to the community. And as the founder, I'm here to be in service to each one of you. I'm not above any request. I'm not the boss or anything like that. You know, the higher up you go in the organization, the more you need to be dedicated to serving the people you're responsible for. If you want to volunteer here, we very much hope that you feel the same way and that you're doing so as an opportunity to give back to a wonderful community. As volunteers, each and every one of you is expected to be in service to the attendees and to each other and to the hotel. It's our hope that at Anthro Northwest that we're able to instill leadership qualities in all of you. As a leader, you have to take responsibility for the errors of those you're responsible for. If one of my leads makes a mistake, it's because I have not equipped them properly, or perhaps I made an error in communication or haven't provided adequate training. Maybe I put the person in the wrong role. The fault needs to stop with me. And I'll work with that person to help them grow into the role which they are trying to fulfill, to help them be better prepared for the next difficult situation. As a leader, when someone you're responsible for does good, you need to make sure they know they're appreciated and make sure your lead knows about it too. You know, we can be happy about when people are doing well and that we're responsible for them, but we shouldn't take credit for the positive actions of others. You know, we know on the inside in our heart that we've contributed to the good, and that's really true joy. It's efficient. And that's what service is about. That's what leadership's about. Volunteers are what make our convention, and it's so very important that they feel appreciated. We put a lot of effort into our volunteer service and benefits package. And we kept the service amount really low to get people in there. So for just 4 hours of service, our volunteers, they get their membership covered, access to the volunteer lounge. We're going to have food and hospitality staff in there, and a very special medallion for them. Like, it's going to be metal. It's going to be cool. They also get pre-registration benefits, but it's too late for that now. We also work very hard to promote you, the volunteer. If it's your art, your business, or yourself, we try to give back to you and help you as you interact with the anthropomorphic community. So the best way to get more volunteers, and we need quite a few of them still, is to have our existing ones invite more people to participate. So if you know someone who's exceptional, please encourage them to fill out the volunteer application. We'd really like to talk to them. The more volunteers we have, the easier it'll be for all of us. Less hours worked, more resources to go around, a better run convention. So we've started to assign some of the lead roles for the convention. You can see them up here on the screen. We've been graced with really exceptional volunteers. These people have already dedicated a tremendous amount of time and resources to make this a success. One other group that's central to Anthro Northwest, and they didn't quite fit on the slide, is Flare. So they take care of security. They also help out with operations. Currently, they run ops and security for BLFC, FC, and a ton of sci-fi conventions. So they're really, really good. We don't have local security opportunities this year at all. But if you're interested in that, Flare can help train you for future years. So yeah, we're just having them come up from California, and we're really excited to have them working with us. Our charity partner for 2017 is Sarvi Wildlife. They help rescue, rehabilitate, and release animals in need. All the proceeds from our charity events, like the art auction, will go to Sarvi. When we say all proceeds, that means all the money we get minus the credit card processing fees and taxes if we have to pay taxes on it. I don't think we will, but yeah, we're not taking off the top. It's really important that charity stays charity. And we're really excited to have them as a partner. And they're going to be doing some really neat panels with live animals and stuff for us. So they're great people. All right, so we'd like to have 4 guests of honor by the time the convention starts. We'll probably announce a new one every couple months. If you know someone who's exceptional and falls into some of the remaining categories, please be encouraged to nominate them. Just send us an email, or you can do it over Twitter direct message or even on our Telegram chat. Telephone's our first guest of honor. And people really know her because of her great performance capabilities. She's always giving 110%. She's amazing. But what people don't know a lot of times is how involved she is in charity. So we were really impressed with who she was as a whole person and how much she's given back to her community locally, in general, the anthropomorphic art community. And she's even developed the Dutch dragon species. So she's made tremendous contributions to the anthropomorphic arts. So in the next couple of months, things will start to solidify. We're still building the convention around the people, but eventually, things got to get firmed up. So around April, we're going to start locking down which of the panels we're going to have. We're going to do the schedule, create a more formal structure, so people get assigned concrete roles. We're in the process of creating an onboarding process for new volunteers so they can have the resources they need to do their jobs well. We're working on some back-end IT systems upgrades, doing operating procedures, and we're going to start processing volunteer applications. So we'll do all the background checks and those sorts of things. And we'll get all the non-lead roles assigned. So lots to do, but luckily we have lots of time and a wonderful team that can help us do that. So while all that's happening in the background, I really encourage the individual leads to work on building up their program. And we're all here to work together. And yeah, November 9th will be here before we know it. I'm really looking forward to it. So I want to talk a little bit about the venue. So it's in a high-end luxury hotel called the Renaissance Seattle. And it's downtown. Not by the airport. It's really in Seattle. So it's in the historical Pioneer Square district. And it has pretty good access to the airport. So you can take a light rail train there, and then you can either walk to the hotel or Uber up. There's a lot of information on our website about travel options. There's also flat rate taxis that go anywhere downtown. And you could even take an Uber or Lyft downtown for pretty cheap to the hotel. It's nice because there's a lot of fun things to do in Seattle, like GameWorks, Space Needle, Magic Mouse Toys, Pike Place Market, all kinds of cool stuff. And great restaurants, both very high-end and very low-end, whatever you need. So it's really great. We do have parking available at the hotel, and we've negotiated a special rate. But if you want better pricing, there's a lot. It's kind of in the cheapest part of Seattle for parking. We've included a link to a parking tool on our websites that help you find the best rates. And there's lots of overnight parking or whatever you need. So we wanted to be downtown, and we did make it work, but it costs a lot. So I know, tables and admission is expensive. Keep in mind we're going to lose a lot of money this year, and that's really fine because this is a gift to the community. But with a really good track record, we can negotiate better rates for 2018 and hopefully break even at that point. So like I said before, it's a gift and it doesn't have to make money. But in the future, we'd like to be able to give back more to our volunteers, vendors, and attendees. So right now we've rented the first 3 convention floors of the hotel. So we've got like 0 through 4. The lobby's on 1. We've got about 20,000 square feet. To put that in perspective, it's about half the size of the last RF. So we can accommodate around 1,000 people, pretty easy. If we go over that, we got to be really careful about how we manage crowds and room occupancy rates and things like that. So we'll see what happens. Also, if we get a lot of pre-registrations early, we can expand the space a little bit. We've been looking at adding on maybe a game room or something like that, so that'd be pretty fun. But we do need people to pre-register to make that happen. We also have the option to split up the south room and the upstairs into 2, depending on if we need more spaces for panels and things. So right now we've got 2 large ballrooms, 3 foyers, 3 conference rooms, and 1 lounge. And the lounge will be dedicated to the anthropomorphic performers lounge so that people can cool off there. So here we go. Here's a shot of the upstairs ballroom. So the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday dances will be up there. The Thursday dance will be in a different room because we don't have a lot of time to set up. We'll have a nice stage up there and really good lighting and stuff. And we'll do the big panels, probably the live animal thing with Sarvi up there as well. Dance competitions and all that. I also want to thank Nolref because he took all these pictures. And Nolref is the person doing our audio video stuff. Here's a shot of the lower ballroom where the dealers area is. It's a little bit larger than the upper ballroom, but when we were there to take pictures, they had it divided into sections, so you can't see the whole thing, but it's a pretty good size room. Here's the 4th floor conference rooms, and the one on the right is the anthropomorphic performers lounge. And that's being headed up by Kiba. And yeah, so that's about it. That's where we're at today. Thank you so much, all of you, for your support getting us here. It's been a great journey. Really looking forward to working with all of you, and appreciate all the volunteers that have come together to make this beautiful conference happen.